My dear students, today I am going to teach approach with tax in financial management CA intermediate in financial decisions, that is in capital structure. So what do you mean by approach? Actually, the capital structure, first of all we must understand what is capital structure. Regarding the capital structure, there is unlevered firm or levered firm. What is the difference between the levered firm and unlevered firm? The levered firm, in which the capital structure containing the debt as a part of capital structure, that is called levered firm. Unlevered firm, there is no debt at all, that is unlevered firm. In approach, actually we have to incorporate tax. If we incorporate tax, the value of the firm will increase, but at the same time the cost of the capital will decrease. That is an important point in this theory. We have to understand that the value of the firm will increase and then cost of capital will decrease. So normally the value of levered firm means which has the debt as a capital structure, it also include. So value of levered firm will be greater than the value of unlevered firm. There are some formula. First of all, I will explain the formula. After that, we will work out some sums. So the value of levered company, how to find out? Normally, there are some other formula, but from unlevered firm, how to find out the value of levered company? So to find out the value of levered company, first of all, we find value of unlevered company, and then if you add the tax benefit, then we will get that formula. So VG, that means the value of levered company. Value of levered company, it is represented by VG, equal to value of unlevered company. Because unlevered company, there is no debt, so there is no tax. So value of unlevered company plus tax benefit. If we add the tax benefit with the value of unlevered firm, you can get the value of levered company. And then the cost of equity in levered company. What is the cost of capital? I mean capital means here the shareholding. So the cost of equity in the levered company is cost of equity. I mean E refers to equity. G means it is for only levered company, we will use the G. So KEG equal to KEU, I mean cost of equity in unlevered firm plus cost of equity in unlevered firm minus cost of debt into debt plus total value of the firm. The total value of the firm is nothing but the debt plus equity. So what is the portion of debt out of the total value of the firm? So if we calculate, then we can find out the cost of equity in a levered company. So it is an important formula, please make note of it. And then weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital in a levered company, that means cost of capital, you know, KO, that is, I mean G means the levered company. So the cost of capital of levered company is equal to cost of equity in unlevered company into 1 minus TL. Here T means tax rate, L means liquidity. Liquidity is nothing but the debt divided by the total value of the firm. That is debt plus divided by debt plus equity. So the cost of equity in levered company, and then T is equal to tax rate, and then L equal to debt plus equity. If we use this formula, we can find out the weighted average cost of capital in a levered company. Now let us look into the arbitrage process. Now let us solve one important problem under arbitrage process. The situation is when the value of levered firm is more than the value of unlevered firm. The question is, there are two companies, N Limited and N Limited, having some earnings before interest and taxes, that is earning before interest tax of rupees 20,000, that is net operating income, that is earning before interest and tax for both companies is rupees 20,000 rupees. M Limited is a levered company. I mean, if it is a levered company means that it has a debt in its capital structure. Yes, M Limited is a levered company having a debt of rupees 1 lakh at 7% rate of interest. So we have to provide 7% interest on 1 lakh rupees. After deducting this amount from the net operating income, that means earning before interest and tax, the remaining amount will be available for the shareholders. So the cost of equity L Limited is 10%. The cost of equity is given 10%, and then cost of equity of M Limited is 11.50%. Compute how arbitrage process will be carried on. Solve the problem. So the earning before interest and tax, that is called net operating income. M Limited is a levered company and N Limited is an unlevered company. So there is a debt in M Limited. So how much net operating income? That is 20,000 rupees here. The same amount will be taken here also, 20,000 rupees. And then debt. What is the debt portion in M Limited? So debt is here 1 lakh rupees debt. Here is nil. There is no debt. And then the rate of, cost of equity. Here cost of equity 11.5% here. 11.50% in M Limited, whereas in N Limited is 10%. The cost of equity. And then the cost of debt it is available only for levered company, that is 7%. So cost of debt KD equal to 7%. So here no. So we have to find out the cost of equity, the market value of equity, we have to find it out. So how we can find out? Net operating income, but we have to deduct the interest charges available to the debt. We have to deduct that amount. If we deduct the remaining balance will be available for equity shareholders. And then if we divide the cost of equity, that is 11.50%, then we will find out the market value of shareholdings, that is equity. So value of equity equal to value of equity. Actually we have to deduct interest. How much interest? 7%. The debt is 1 lakh rupees. So 7% on 1 lakh rupees is 7,000 rupees we have to deduct from the net income, net operating income. So the net operating income, that means EBIT minus interest divided by that cost of equity, that is 11.50%. That is the EBIT 20,000 minus interest 1 lakh into 7%, that is 7,000 rupees. So 20,000 minus 7,000 divided by 11.50%. So the balance will be 13,000 divided by 11.5%. The value equal to 1,13,043 rupees. So 1,13,043 rupees. This is the value of equity. Value of equity. So what will be the value of the firm? The total firm, the value of M Limited. The value of the firm equal to value of firm M Limited equal to the cost of equity and cost of debt. Cost of equity, the value of equity 1,13,043 rupees plus the debt value is 1 lakh. So the total value 2,13,043 rupees. This is a value of the firm, total value of the firm M Limited. So what will be the value of N Limited? So the value of N Limited we have to find out, because there is no debt portion here, only equity shares only. So the EBIT divided by what? The percentage cost of equity is 10%. So 20,000 divided by 10%, it will come around 2 lakh rupees. So here what is the situation? Here the value of levered firm is more than the value of the unlevered firm. So the value of levered firm 2,13,043, and then value of unlevered firm is rupees 2 lakhs only. So what will be the arbitrage process. In that process, what we will have to do? Some portion of investment is to be transferred from one into another. We will see, look. Normally, the value of the company, in case of levered firm, M Limited is a levered firm, the value of the company is greater than that of the N Limited, that is levered firm. Unlevered firm. So, normally the value of levered firm will be more. Actually, here also it is more. In this situation, the normal income that a shareholder gets, that is 1,300 rupees. In arbitrage process, for example, assume if you have 10% share, if you have 10% share in a levered firm, in M Limited, that means what will be the market value of the share capital? Actual, the value of equity is 1,13,043 rupees, the total value. For example, if you have 10% holding in that company, the value, your value, actually your shareholding value that is 10% on rupees 1,13,043. That will come around 1,13,043, 10%, so 11,304 rupees, it is your value. Your shares value in M Limited company. For example, if we want to invest in N Limited, then if you are selling, assume like that, if you are selling this amount, actually, 11,304 rupees, if you are selling in this company, for example, that amount will be coming to you. So, the cash you are having, that the cash with you, after selling 10% of your shareholdings, that is, you can get 11,304 rupees. Apart from that, in addition to that, if we borrow 10% of the debt in M Limited company, so the total debt value is 1 lakh. If you borrow 10%, then you can have 10,000 rupees. So, debt amount, if we borrow, debt borrowed by you in M Limited, that is 10%, that is, you are having 10,000 rupees cash in your hand. So, the total cash from the sale proceeds of shares, 11,304 rupees you are having. Apart from that, 10,000 rupees, that the amount that is debt borrowed. So, 21,300 rupees you are having. But with this amount, if we invest 10% of shares in N Limited, so if we invest 10%, if you invest 10% in N Limited, that means the total value of the equity 2 lakh rupees. If we invest 10%, so you have to pay 20,000 rupees. So the value will be 20,000 rupees you have to pay. But the cash available with you 21,304 rupees. So the extra balance available with you, that is extra cash balance, equal to 21,304 minus 20,000. So 1,304 rupees you are having excess. It is, you can leave that one. Apart from that, for example, in the previous case you are earning, suppose you invested only in M Limited, you can earn only 1,300 rupees. Now, what will be the return from N Limited? Now you had invested 10% of the equity, that is 20,000 invested. So, what is the rate of return? That is cost of equity 10%. So, your income will be, out of 20,000 invested in N Limited, your income will be, your income from N Limited will be how much? That is 10%. What will be the income? Actually, the 20,000 rupees, there is no deduction of, what shall I say, the rate of, interest on debt. So, only 20,000 rupees. So, 20,000 on, 10% on 20,000. So you will get 2000 rupees. It is your income. But at the same time, you had borrowed from M Limited, that is 10%, that is 10,000 rupees. So for which you have to pay interest. How much interest you have to pay? 7% interest. So we have to deduct the interest payable by you to M Limited. So less interest payable by you to M Limited, that is 7% on 20,000. 7% on 20, I mean how much you get it? 10,000, sorry. 10,000 you had invested. 10,000 means that is 7,000. What shall I say? 10,000, 700 rupees. So the net income that you are getting by investing in N Limited, that is 1,300 rupees. So the same amount of income you can get in the case of arbitrages process. If you invest in N Limited, the same amount you can earn, but the same time, apart from that, you are having the extra cash, that is, I mean, what shall I say, 20,000, then this amount, this extra amount. So your income will be 1,300 and then your extra income will be 1,304. So it is benefitable under the arbitrages process.